Spiritual warfare, such an interesting subject. There's so many different ways of thinking about it. There's a passage in Scripture where Jesus talks a little bit about it. Matthew chapter 16, you have this passage where Jesus asks his disciples, hey, what do people say that I am? Well, some say you're Elijah, some say Jeremiah, one of the other prophets. Well, who do you say that I am? And Peter speaks up, says, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus says, wow, flesh and blood didn't show you that. That came from God. That's revelation. And on this rock, I'm going to build the church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So many things that we could talk about in that passage, but I want to do one phrase. The gates of hell will not prevail against it. Got a question. Have you ever been chased down the road by a gate? Did you ever have a gate follow you when you tried to get away from it? No. See, gates are stationary. We move. When Jesus said the gates of hell will not prevail against it, he's not saying that the attacks that the enemy brings to us aren't going to prevail. He's saying that we're going to be attacking the enemy and the enemy won't be able to stand. A gate, it was the protection of a city. What Jesus said is that when we respond to the revelation that Jesus gives of himself, that we will end up going into places that the enemy thought that he had locked down, and there's nothing the enemy can do to stop it. We are going to be plundering the house of the enemy. Why? Because a stronger man came and bound the strong man. Satan was that strong man, but Jesus was the stronger man, and on the cross he disarmed Satan. He bound him, and now we go in, because the strong man has been bound on the cross, we go in and we plunder his house, and we pull out those things that the enemy had kept as treasures of victory over God. They were not victory over God. They were the promise of his sure destruction, and we get to go and get them back. See, when you're following revelation and you're doing what God has called you to do, most of the warfare that you face is not the enemy attacking you, it's you attacking the enemy. We were made for war. That's who we are. And it's a good thing, because when we go into war, we're going in to get an inheritance, and when we get an inheritance, we have one more crown that we get to throw at the feet of the beautiful one. That is a good mindset for spiritual warfare.